As part of the present administration's efforts to curtail the spread of coronavirus COVID-19 ravaging the country and the world at large, Edo State Ministry of Education, in collaboration with Edo Broadcasting Service (EBS) and Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools (Asuss), is organizing a television program for students in senior secondary schools, particularly those writing the West African Senior School Certificate Examination (WASE), the National Examination Council (NECO), and National Business and Technical Examination Board (NAPTEB) for the year 2020 in the months of May, June, and July. The program will be held on EBS television channel every day from 12 noon to 1 p.m. beginning from Monday, April 6, 2020. The subjects selected for these programs are Mondays Mathematics, Tuesdays English Language, Wednesdays Physics, Thursdays Biology, Fridays Geography, Saturdays Civic Education and Economics, and Sunday Chemistry. Parents and guardians are therefore advised to draw the attention of their children or wards to this opportunity during the stay-at-home period.
Viewers, in continuation of the series organized by the state government in conjunction with EBS and Asuss, Edostate, we want to take another subject today, and the subject is civic education. As you can see, and the topic we are going to look at is HIV. HIV. What is HIV? Most often, HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. Human immunodeficiency virus. It is transmitted through the bodily fluids of infested person. When this virus infects any person, the virus will weaken the white blood cell. And the white blood cell in the body is a principal cell that fights against diseases and viruses. It's like a soldier in the body system. Its potency cannot be overemphasized. But when this virus enters anybody, it now weakens the body system. And from there, the person will develop what we now refer to as AIDS. AIDS is also defined as acquired immune deficiency syndrome. When a positive person having HIV is infested, the organ, just as I said, is already weakened. The person will not be able to live to expectation. The system is already weakened. The soldier that is supposed to fight the body is no longer there, because there is already destruction of the immune system, which the victim is vulnerable to opportunistic infections. By that, we mean that once a person is infested with HIV, a time will come it will develop into AIDS. Because this opportunistic infection, as we have it, any ailment can now come and crumble the person, even if it's headache, even if it's malaria. Malaria before now, once you eat ART or ACT medicine, you'll be able to recover. But somebody already having AIDS cannot recover quickly from such ailments. And that is why the virus is so bad that don't even allow you to come near you nor come into your body. So briefly, we want to look at the causes of HIV/AIDS. Causes. Number one is unprotected sexual acts. Unprotected sexual acts. The meeting of man and woman without using device. For example, condom. If there is any of the partner having HIV or AIDS, the person will transfer it to his or her partner. Unprotected sexual acts. Another one is blood transfusion. Blood transfusion, just as we know it, there are some medical experts that are not thorough in screening blood. And most often, our people want to patronize quack because it is cheaper patronizing quacks. So, if the blood that is going to be transfused is not properly screened, there is the tendency that HIV will be transferred to the sick person. Another causes of HIV is sharing of contaminated object or implement. Sharing. If you look at our society today, people will want to share object. For example, the earring. Just give me your earring. If the person is infested with the virus, the person is transferring the earring, for example, to, will also get the HIV virus. It's as bad as that. Because this thing, pass through fluid, the bodily fluid we just mentioned. It can even come as a result of spit, urine, or blood. These are bodily fluids that we have. Another one is it can be transferred to the unborn child, because if the mother of the child is having HIV, there is the tendency that the child must be an HIV patient, because there is a connection in the womb between the mother and the child. Another aspect is the sharing of needle and syringes. Needle and syringes in hospital, especially in quack medical health centers, where the doctor or the health practitioner will use the needle that was used for an HIV patient to inject another patient, even another person, even when that person is not having HIV. Another area where we can as well get HIV from is unsterilized clippers. when clippers are not sterilized, we have so many chemicals, especially in the barbing salon. Anytime you get there, tell them to sterilize the clippers before they use it for you. If not, it can transfer the virus, the HIV virus, to the new person. Another aspect of it is the cutting of the umbilical cord. Umbilical cord. That is the cord that is attached between the child and even the mother. Once a child is born, there's what they call nivel, that cord that normally comes out. If you go to traditional birth attendants, they don't sterilize their equipment. They use what they've used before to also perform local surgical operations on another newborn baby. So with that, HIV can be transferred through that unsterilized bliss that traditional birth attendant use for the newborn child. Having looked at the causes of HIV, let us go ahead and look at the symptoms of HIV. Symptoms. One of the symptoms of HIV/AIDS is persistent fever. The carrier of HIV/AIDS is always sick. They hardly get well because, just as we said in the definition, the immune system is already down. The person is already vulnerable. So anything can make the patient sick at any given time. The person can visit hospital within a month 2-3 times. And when you see that, you advise the person or advise yourself to go for HIV test. Because HIV, as we see it, is not a death sentence. Even the AIDS is no longer a death sentence. The earlier, the better you detect if you are a HIV/AIDS patient. Another symptom we can readily see again is night sweats. The person having HIV sweats continuously in the night, even when others are feeling cold in the night, they are always sweating. So it's a symptom of HIV/AIDS. But we are not also saying that anytime you are sweating, anytime you are sweating in the night, that it means you are already infested with HIV/AIDS. But it is better you go for a check. Another one is a prolonged diarrhea. Prolonged diarrhea. When you have continuous diarrhea, there's the indication that such person is having HIV/AIDS. Another symptom is dry cough. Dry cough. Dry cough. When you have dry cough persistently, and you wouldn't know if it's tuberculosis until you go for a medical checkup or medical attention. So therefore, anytime you observe dry cough, ensure that you go for a test, a HIV test. Another one is loss of weight. People complain, oh, I don't have weight now. I don't have weight. I'm already fainting. I'm dizzy. These are symptoms of HIV/AIDS. Loss of weight. Somebody will emaciate speedily is an evidence that there may be likelihood of HIV/AIDS. Just as we said, fainting. When anybody complains of, perpetual fainting, the person should be advised to go for a test on HIV/AIDS. Another symptom is sore throat. Sore throat. Your trachea. Most often you complain about it. When that happens, quickly go for a test of HIV/AIDS. But we are not also saying that when you have a sore throat, you run to hospital frequently to test for HIV. All these are symptoms. When you have 2, 3 of these symptoms we have just analyzed, quickly run to a testing center. We have so many testing centers in Benin City and even in Edostate. There's no health center you go to, government-owned health center, that you will not find a testing unit. You have it in Central Hospital, we have it in all the general hospitals in Edostate. Another symptom, quickly, before we wrap up this session, is loss of memory. Loss of memory. This is another symptom of HIV/AIDS. The person easily forgets. The person, when you ask him or her, oh, I forgot, I never knew you told me this, I just forgot totally. Loss of memory. Tell the person to repeat or say what you've passed on to him or her. You say, I've forgotten. So it's a loss of memory. And that can be attributed to a symptom of HIV/AIDS. Quickly, we want to look at the effects. The effects of HIV/AIDS. It leads to death or loss of life. When somebody is already having AIDS, the person can die from it. Loss of life is the same thing. As a result of the contact, HIV/AIDS, person can lose his or her life. That is an effect, and a very bad one for that matter. Loss of life. It can also have a negative impact on the society. For somebody who was working before now, having the enthusiasm to work for his nation or his country, suddenly dies, it means that manpower is also lost. So it can cause a vacuum in the system. So we see that one of the effects of HIV/AIDS is loss of manpower. Loss of manpower. Just as we said before now, somebody that has been contributing to the economy of a nation or even his family, once he dies, a vacuum will be created. So the effect of HIV is very enormous. It's very devastating, both to the family and even to the nation at large. Discrimination or stigmatization. Discrimination or stigmatization. This is a situation where anybody having the virus, nobody is a friend to a sick person. That is the truth. People are discriminated against if they have this virus called HIV/AIDS. It's an effect. Somebody you have been playing with, you have a relationship with, suddenly the person is a known carrier of HIV/AIDS. You will not want to be associated with such a person. Discrimination and stigmatization too. People look at you and say, that man, please don't go to his house. All my children, please don't go there, because the man is a carrier of HIV/AIDS. Another one is high cost of treatment. An HIV patient will pay through his nose just to afford the drugs, retroviral drugs. That's what they call it. But today, thank God for some NGOs and even the government who are sponsoring the treatment of HIV/AIDS. But the cost of taking yourself to the hospital is a burden on the family. It's also a cost. It may not be high, but you have to pay transport. Government will not continue to pay you transport and everything. So because of that, there is still a cost attached to your pocket when you have HIV/AIDS. So we see it as an effect of HIV/AIDS. Another point we're going to consider is it leads to broken homes. This is another effect of HIV/AIDS. If somebody is detected, for example, the man or the woman at home, that is he or she is having HIV/AIDS, the partner, either the man or the woman, will not condone such a thing in his own home. And before you know it, that divorce will come in. Broken homes can be an effect of HIV/AIDS. Broken home. And nobody wants to experience that. Broken homes, the children raised in broken homes are not always in good relationship. They are always at loggerheads, either with the father or the mother. Another effect we are going to look at briefly is, we said it can lead to poverty. And that is the truth. Money that is supposed to be used for school fees, paying of school fees, for feeding and all that, is now invested in HIV/AIDS. It means that home will go at a loss to cause poverty in such a home. Quickly, we want to look at the prevention. The Englishman says prevention is better than cure. In this place, the statement is very apt. Preventing the sickness is better than curing the sickness. One of the preventive measures is that blood that is going to be transfused should be screened thoroughly. Blood should be screened thoroughly before transfusion. Blood should be screened thoroughly before any transfusion is made. Because if blood is not screened thoroughly, very well, it means that any mistake is transferred to another person. And there is no way they can detect it if it is not screened properly. There should be the use of protection. Another one is use of protection during sexual acts. People should be advised to always use protection during sex. The use of condom will come into play. Because once a person gets HIV/AIDS, there is no cure as we speak for HIV/AIDS, but it can be managed. But while living your life so carelessly to have got the virus and start to treat it, though it's not a death sentence, as we said before. Another point we should also consider in the prevention of HIV/AIDS is that clippers in barber salons should be used. Abstinence is the best prevention measure that is put in place. But if you cannot abstain from sex, if you are not married, please do use a condom. Condom is not even, cannot prevent it, just as we are told by medical practitioners. But it's safer than not using a condom. But abstinence is what we preach if you are not married. The clippers in the barber salon we mentioned before, there is need for you or the barber to sterilize the clippers before it's used on you. Always demand that the clipper is sterilized before a barber will cut your hair. It's very important. Another one is you must be very faithful in your matrimonial home. Faithfulness. Be faithful to your partner. That is the implication. Faithfulness in matrimonial home. Faithful to your partner. And when there's faithfulness, then we are preventing the spread of HIV/AIDS. Another one that is almost similar to this, especially for the young boys and girls, is that they should desist from multiple partners. Number 5. Refrain yourself, desist from multiple partners. It's an avenue for HIV/AIDS for one to be infested with HIV/AIDS. There should be no multiple partners. A boy should not have more than one girl, and a girl should not have more than one man or one boy. So if there is no multiple partners, you understand yourselves and you cannot spread or be infested with HIV/AIDS. I'm sure you got the points we have analyzed, starting from the definition of HIV and the definition of AIDS. Remember that those things I wrote, HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. With some students, they would not write human immunovirus. Once you give that to an examiner, he will not mark it. Even if it's 2 marks, he won't give you half a mark. Ensure that though D is not here, ensure that you put deficiency. It's very important. Very, very important. Most of them, students will just write human immune virus. That is not HIV. Deficiency must be there. Human immunodeficiency virus. Normally it is 2 marks for just writing that. But when you are not able to put deficiency, then you will not earn a half mark. So it's very important that anytime you see this question in your exam, try and add deficiency, just as we have in the case of AIDS. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. You must be able to write it well so that you will get the full mark that is allotted to that question. It's very important. and it will serve you right if you adhere strictly to what I've just told you. In summary, we define HIV. We also define AIDS. So students should be able to adhere strictly to those definitions. No examiner wants to see you write a full page on HIV/AIDS. Don't impress the examiner and say, oh, today I just finished 2 pages. It may not even count. What is expected of you is to adhere strictly to what I've just told you. Human immunodeficiency virus, that is HIV. Whereas AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So therefore, ensure that the preventive measure is always adhered to. In exam, for example, they will ask you, what are the preventive measure of HIV? They go together. You should be able to tell them the preventive measure. You should be able to also tell them the causes of HIV/AIDS and the symptoms that can also be seen in HIV/AIDS. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I know that in our next edition, we are going to look at drug abuse.